Yesterday, Coach Toledo said that Terry Poole is kind of starting to separate himself a little bit at right tackle. What are you seeing from him, and I guess the improvement that he's had since spring?
Yeah, he's really getting in the playbook now. I feel like he's starting to understand the offense, and once you get a grasp of what other people are doing, it kind of slows down, and you can figure out like what you're doing. And I feel like he's really come a long way in that department.
And Adam, I guess what have you seen from the younger receivers like Christian Cumberlander and Eric Judge?
They're stepping up and they're starting to make plays, which is exciting. As a quarterback, I love seeing the young guys, coming out there flying around, a lot of energy. It's exciting to watch them grow and mature. Eric from spring ball, he's gotten, 10 times better. And then Christian, just since when he got here in the summer till now, he's gotten a lot better as well. And I think all our receivers have improved drastically. I love seeing that.
Adam, 1 week under your belt, sort of an assessment where you're at right now?
I think we're doing all right. There's still some things we need to clean up, but we're a lot farther ahead now than we were in spring at this time, which we should be. And I feel like guys are starting to, understand the offense a lot better, which is exciting to see. And we're all coming together as a unit, and I think we got a chance to be pretty good this year.
Talk about how differently you guys might use the tight end this year. Coach Leo has said that you guys have a lot of 2 tight end sets. Like, how does that make your options open up?
It doesn't change too much for me. I have certain reads and progressions that I have to go through no matter who's in the game. As far as 2 tight ends, I think it does more for the defense because when you have 2 tight ends in there, you can run the ball, you can throw the ball. There's a lot of different things you can do, and the defense can't really get a key on whether you're going to run or pass.
And Coach Leo has said that you are working on your accuracy. It's one of your main goals. How do you do that as a quarterback? Do you go out and you throw 100 balls at like a tire or something? What do you do?
Yeah, you can do that, but it started over the summer, and after every lift or 7-on-7, I'd get a couple of receivers, and we just play catch and just throw as many balls as you can. And the biggest thing is it's concentration, just focusing on where you want to hit a guy. If the defender's inside, you want to put the ball on his outside shoulders, things like that. But I think the biggest thing for me is just concentration and focusing every rep and making every play count.
Bryce, just to be a little bit facetious, but do you and Adam travel everywhere together, just kind of keeping an eye on each other, that closeness between quarterback and offensive line?
Yeah, he's been my roommate since sophomore year, so I gotta make sure he stays in line.
And your coach was saying that you came out of spring with sort of like a little bit of a back problem. I guess what was the old injury, and how limited were you in the summer?
Yeah, I hurt my back summer lifting, and it's something that's been bothering me for a long time. And then the biggest thing was just kind of taking some time off and resting, not overdoing it, just relaxing, icing, getting treatment, as many times a day as possible. And then once I started doing that, I noticed, a lot of changes. It started feeling better, and I feel like right now I'm 100%. I'm ready to go.
So they said they had some sort of like a guide or a plan for you to follow in the summer, and you weren't able to do too much of it. I guess what was in that, and how are you trying to sort of make up that work now?
Yeah, in the summer, I think I missed a couple, throwing sessions and 7-on-7s, and I was just over there on the bike or, kind of jogging laps around the field. And then, the biggest thing for me was once I was able to get back out there on the field, just throwing with the receivers and the tight ends and the backs, trying to get that timing back that I had kind of lost over that period of time.
Anything else for student athletes?
Yeah. Was your mentality any different coming into this camp knowing, you had the spot as a starter versus maybe last year?
I don't think so, no. I've said before, I want to be the kind of guy that comes in and works the same way every day, no matter if I'm playing or if I'm not going to play, no matter if I'm first string or last string. And that's kind of how I was raised, and, that's how I've been, or how I'd like to think I've been since I got here from day one, even when I was a freshman. You can always get better, no matter, whether you're first string, second string, third string. There's always things to improve on, and that's kind of how I take each day.
How valuable is it to have Coach Toledo, sitting in on the quarterback meetings, sort of with you guys every step of the way? Was the did Coach Ludwig sort of have that kind of relationship with you guys in every meeting, or is this a new thing for the quarterbacks?
I think Coach Toledo's a little more involved. I mean, Coach Ludwig was a good offensive coordinator, and, you know, they're just two kind of different guys. Coach Toledo, for one, it's sort of a different offense, a lot of different terminology, so he's trying to teach us those things, as well as teaching us, you know, how he wants the offense run. I love having him in there along with Coach Sipe. You know, that's tons of information between those two that you can always just absorb and try to get better.
Do you find yourself spending more time with the offensive coordinator just talking about plays and things like that than in years past?
I think so, yeah. You know, Coach Toledo loves to talk football, as well as, you know, every guy on the offensive side of the ball. So, you know, whenever we're kind of just standing around, we'll talk about it, or, you know, just always going over little things and plays.